Thank you for joining us this morning for the 2024 IISE Annual Conference and Exposition. On behalf of the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers, I'm most delighted to welcome today's honorees, guests, colleagues, and friends. My name is Sundaresh Haragu. I'm an Associate Dean in the College of Engineering, Architecture, and Technology at Oklahoma State University. I'm also President-elect of IISE. We are glad you're able to join us this morning as we continue to recognize outstanding industrial and systems engineers worldwide for their contributions in practice and academe, with numerous honors and awards. The first award, the Captains of Industry Award, honors leaders in business, industry, government, people such as CEOs, senior vice presidents, presidents, directors of organizations with substantial sales, assets, employment, or other resources. This year, we have two recipients of this award. Our first honoree is Anne Dunkin. Anne is currently the Chief Information Officer of the U.S. Department of Energy. Before joining DOE, she was the Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer for state and local government at Dell. Prior to joining Dell, Anne was the CIO of the County of Santa Clara. She also served in the Obama administration as the Chief Information Officer of the United States EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and also as Chief Technology Officer for the Palo Alto Unified School District. She also held a variety of positions, leadership positions at Hewlett-Packard. She's a published author, most recently of the book Industrial Digital Transformation, and is a sought-after speaker on the topics of technology, modernization, digital services, and organizational transformation. She holds a BS and an MS in Industrial Engineering, both from the Georgia Institute of Technology. She's a licensed professional engineer in California and Washington. She is also a fellow of IISE. Colleagues, please join me in congratulating Anne Dunkin.
Good morning. So my staff often write speeches for me that start with, "I'm honored to be here today." And sometimes I cross that out because I'm not entirely sure it's an honor. So they didn't write a speech for me they did write a speech for me this morning. This is not it, so don't tell them. But today I really am honored to be here. This is a huge privilege to receive this award. I sometimes joke that I get paid in plaques because they don't pay us much in the government. But this one is truly meaningful to be nominated and awarded by a group of my peers in industrial engineering, as was the fellow award that I had an opportunity to receive yesterday. So I want to take a moment to reflect on the beginning, and I don't mean my childhood. I'm not going back to elementary school, but to grad school. So I'm lucky that I had three incredible mentors at Georgia Tech: Dr. Gunter Sharp, Dr. John White, and Dr. Liam McGinnis. And so I was absolutely thrilled that Leon was able to be here yesterday to present my fellow award. So Leon, thank you very much for failing retirement so that you could get here. So there's a saying that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. It's not a Chinese proverb, by the way. It is attributed to a Roman philosopher. But certainly in my case, that industrial engineering education for Georgia Tech is the preparation. I like to joke that, and it's true, Georgia Tech's been the #1 graduate industrial engineering school since the year after I left. So I think it was me leaving that made the difference. But I think there's been three major opportunities and therefore luck in my career. #1 was when my colleague Bob Cattell recommended me replace him at HP, which kicked off the first half of my career. #2 was when HP was kind enough to lay me off. which got me out of a position for which I was far too comfortable. Number 3 was when a series of events led to me receiving a call from the Office of Presidential Personnel in the Obama administration, leading me to a career of opportunity and a series of adventures that I couldn't possibly have imagined. So the fact is that receiving this Captive Industry Award is incredibly humbling, and I really want to thank the people who nominated me and put together this package. Edwin Romaine and Jan Shih and Dave Goldsman at Georgia Tech, John Fowler from Arizona State, Russell Barton from Penn State, and then my colleague Jill Hervey, who is the DOE Undersecretary from NNSA and was our NAE member to help us out with this panel. So I'm going to wrap up by observing that some of the best decisions in my career and in my life have been to step into the unknown and take a risk. It hasn't always been perfect. I've probably dealt with some pretty awful things that wouldn't have happened if I'd stayed in my safe bubble at HP, and I probably could have found a way to do that even after they laid me off. But the adventures have far outweighed the loss, so I was not asked to come up here and give advice, but I'm going to anyway, because I'm here and I get to 3 minutes. So wherever you are in your career, whether you're just starting or approaching retirement or somewhere in between, please don't get too comfortable because you don't want to miss the adventure. So thank you.
Good luck, Gate.
Our next honoree for the Captains of Industry Award is David Poirier. As the founder and CEO of the Poirier Group, one of North America's top boutique consulting firms, David is a dynamic and visionary leader who brings considerable experience developed from senior executive roles in retail, general merchandise, food distribution, health, life sciences, and the manufacturing industry sectors. As an accomplished leader, he brings a unique set of tools, methodologies, and techniques aimed at improving operations in the United States, Canada, and overseas. David thrives at running multiple divisions in complex and ever-changing business environments and effecting positive cultural shifts that impact the bottom line performance. David is a fellow, he's a past president of IISE, and also a longtime member of the Council of Industrial and Systems Engineering. Friends, please join me in congratulating David Poirier.
Well, good morning, everyone. Wow, what an honor. I am so grateful to be recognized here today. Going back a long, long time ago, I earned my degree in industrial engineering from the University of Toronto. Back then, most people didn't even know what an industrial engineer was. Fortunately, we've solved that for everybody by calling an industrial and systems engineer now. As an eager graduate, I started out as distribution project engineer, very proud of the title, in a large grocery chain. I looked about 12 years old, and needless to say, I was naive and thought I could improve everything in the business. Little did I know that my biggest hurdle would be convincing others of my grand ideas. Suddenly, my idealistic road to quick success was fraught with many speed bumps. I remember my first boss advised me that I focus on an area of expertise like productivity. Years later, I met up with him, and Paul asked me how productivity was going, and I proudly announced that I had 6 children. He said, that's not what I meant. And I said, you could have been more clear. Fortunately, I was slowly able to change perceptions over time. The accomplishments started paying off, and I rose through various organizations, taking the roles of senior vice president, executive vice president, and president in 3 major organizations. My experience in North America expanded to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, which brought new perspectives and learnings. After years of working in the corporate world, I needed a new challenge. Okay, that's the official story. The real story was that my friends told me that if I had to actually work for a living rather than being a pampered executive, I probably couldn't keep food on the table. So the challenge was on, and the Poirier Group was born. Let me say that was indeed a humbling challenge. I remember early on in empty office, standing with a modem in one hand and an Ethernet cable in the other, looking up and saying, "What am I doing? I used to have 800 people do this for me." So it was certainly very challenging. Yeah, going into the kitchen for coffee and realizing there is none because I didn't buy any. All new experiences for me. And so I did, however, surround myself with great mentors, and I suggest that each of you early in your career do that. I chose those who believed in me, who themselves had achieved great success, and who were not afraid to tell me what I needed to hear. Oftentimes, it was hard to accept. But as I look back now, I realized they could see what I could not. Today, the Poirier Group's a vibrant global consulting firm and one of Canada's fastest growing organizations. Our success and reputation are driven really by our 4 core values of learning, serving, excellence, and integrity. We've won many awards, but the one I'm most proud of is being recognized as one of Waterstone's most admired corporate cultures. I realized through the years how important cultures and values are to success in organizations. I credit the enormous impact on my career to continuous learning, the broad perspectives I've gained from relationships established here with many of you, and the enrichments I've gained through the volunteer roles on IISE, including president, CISE, including chair, the University of Toronto, and the many committees and boards that I've participated on. I owe a deep sense of gratitude to my mentors, colleagues, and to my family for their continued support and encouragement. I'd like to particularly call out the friendship and support of Yves Boulanger and Dr. Scott Sink, who's been a great friend and advisor for over 30 years, and to Tina, my spouse, who's been unwavering in her support and dedication to me, my career, and my company. Thank you to IISE for this prestigious award. I've been truly blessed with an amazing career and life experiences. I'm excited to see the profound impact each of you will have and to hear your stories in the years ahead. Thank you.
No.